Facebook is unveiling a new so-called war room to help deal with urgent threats in the upcoming midterms and prevent election interference. The social media giant says the war room will streamline decision-making if threats emerge. Facebook disabled more than 1 billion fake accounts between October 2017 and March 2018. It also doubled the number of people working on safety and security and partnered with third-party fact-checkers to limit the spread of misinformation. Facebook's head of cybersecurity policy, Nathaniel Gleischer, joins us. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, are the midterms going to be protected?
The thing that I'm most confident about is that we've done everything we can to make sure that that's true. It's always a challenge because there are always going to be people, when you have a public debate leading up to an election, that are going to try to target them.
We have lots of different kinds of information. Some of it is obviously made up. It's fake heads put on different bodies, that kind of thing. That seems to me to be something you can figure out, put a lot of bodies on it. But what about the grayer stuff? Things that are differences of opinion that then get jacked up into the conversation through some of these methods, which seem to be a lot harder because if you take it off, somebody's going to say, wait a minute, that's my point of view.
One of our key approaches is you can focus on the content, that is what's being said, but you can also focus on the behaviors. What we've found is that there are certain tactics that bad actors use again and again. For instance, using fake accounts, using what we call fake engagement, that is trying to make posts look more popular than they really are, and trying to conceal their identity. And so when we take action, take people down like we did last week, and we've done over the last 8 months, 10 months, we're acting based on their behavior often. And that is really valuable when you get into this gray area, right? Because now you're not reading content, you're not thinking about whether something is true or not. They're engaging in these techniques to manipulate people and to confuse people. I think we can all agree we don't want that.
I was stunned to read that Facebook has taken down more than 1 billion fake accounts, and that's through March of this year. Have you said how many additional accounts you've taken down from March 2018 to October 2018?
We haven't released that yet. We have a periodic transparency report, and it hasn't come out yet with that update.
Hundreds of millions.
You want to release it today, Nathaniel? We're listening.
Here's what, I mean, there's about 7 billion people in the world, right? And you're talking about a year span, there were 1.2 billion fake accounts. Who's creating these fake accounts? Are they foreign governments?
So that report actually covered about 6 months, in fact. And the key is that these are fake accounts that are created often in an automated fashion. And so they might be spammers, they might be people trying to perpetrate fraud, some of them might be nation states. And we have automated systems that will detect and remove millions of fake accounts every day. And something like 98% of the ones we remove, we do that automatically and proactively.
The reason I ask, can I just, sorry to follow up on that, just because these fake accounts, and some of them then are real accounts, for instance, in Myanmar. I mean, this was the front page of the New York Times, which reported that military personnel in Myanmar used Facebook as a tool for ethnic cleansing. This is not just spreading fake news. They used it to incite violence to get people to kill hundreds of thousands of Muslims in Myanmar.
What happened in Myanmar was horrible. And we have been really focused, both in the United States, internationally, and in countries like Myanmar, in anyone who's trying to use the platform to facilitate misinformation or to drive violence. What we need, and what everyone wants, I think, is authentic public debate on the platform where you know who you're talking to, you know what they're trying to say, and you're able to build connections. That's what Facebook really enables, and that's the positive that it brings. Obviously, when you have a community like this, any new form of media, there are going to be people who try to misuse it and who try to manipulate it. And so that's why we have our teams. That's why we have the effort like the War Room and all the teams and the investments we've made over the last several years to make sure that we help encourage all the positive and we minimize the threats like that.
So let me ask you about this War Room. Who are the people there detecting bad actors, and why should we trust them to do that?
What we've done is we've brought together about 20 of the teams across Facebook that are the core of our efforts to detect bad actors. So we have our threat intelligence teams that run our manual investigations. We have our data science teams that are looking at the big picture and trying to see patterns. And also we work with our outside partners, whether you're talking about people from government, state elections officials, other companies who might see things, see threats, and provide information to us.
You've got 1 billion pages. Do you have enough people to detect all of that? How many people are going to be in this actual War Room?
You could never fit all the people who work on security at Facebook in one room, I promise.
Right.
That's right.
It's a virtual war room.
That's right.
That's right.
But Nathaniel, you know, you've got 4 major public funds that hold shares in Facebook that are calling for the removal of Mark Zuckerberg as chairman. And I'm wondering what you think about that. I dare you to say, yes, Gayle, I actually think that's a very good idea. But I do want to know, what do the people at Facebook think about the leadership that's in place right now?
I mean, in my world, so my team and the teams that I work with, we really are very focused on the election that's coming up. This is something that Mark has been pretty vocal about. He's emphasized how important it is, how serious it is, and so we're all pulling together on this. And one of the things that's great is we're starting to see results. We've had about a dozen major takedowns where we've identified and removed information operations from the platform over the last year. We have the war room set up now, and to sort of complement the people in the war room, we also have automated systems that are doing automated analysis to help us deal with just the scale of Facebook. All of those things pulling together, we're starting to see some results.
But you answer the question about Mark's leadership.
I think particularly in the area where I work, Mark has had incredible leadership.
Yeah.
This is where I work, so this is where we would fit together.
And
what was your aha moment, though? We call it at the Oprah magazine, because for a long time they said Facebook really didn't take this seriously. What was the aha moment where you guys finally said, okay, we got to do something here?
I mean, we've said pretty clearly that particularly leading up to the 2016 elections, we weren't focused broadly enough on the types of threats people might use. We were too focused on traditional cybersecurity threats. That election and what happened after that was a real wake-up call for us. And since then, we've really been laser focused on all the different ways someone could try to misuse the platform and all the resources we could bring to bear to tackle that challenge.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I hope you'll continue to update us on everything that Facebook is doing. It's important.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very important.
Nathaniel Gleischer.
Good to see you.